Hello, beautiful world. Welcome to We Mind Your Business. This is Mrs. Jacqueline. I'm holding you up, never holding you down, because what goes around comes back around. Welcome to the show, you guys. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, real estate. Come on. Come on, you come. We do not procrastinate on this show. Let's make it happen. Today's episode, you guys, I am going to share with you my experience with real estate. So do not get overwhelmed. There is an entry into real estate. You just have to find the right entry that works for you. There are many ways to enter into real estate. There's not just one. Through vacation rentals, through lease with the option to buy, contract for deed, conventional way, traditional way of buying property, sellers financing, and share my journey on how I express and tell you guys how I started off in the beauty business, and that led me to real estate. I didn't want to fix up someone else's property and spend all of that money on plumbing, electrical, and actually build them a salon for them to raise my rent. So I took my time, I ran my business out of my duplex, which was advantageous for my family and myself. And we saved and we worked together and we put the work in and we got on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, we took care of our business and then we purchased a commercial space. But you have to put the work in, you got to be patient. And to you newbies, a little bit about me. I'm strictly business. I bought my first property the old-fashioned way in 1998, you guys. So I got a couple of years in real estate. And I say property because I didn't buy a home. I bought a duplex. I knew that I wanted to own something that would allow me to have a source of income in case I ever got ill or I wasn't able to work. So my mom, my sister, and my little brother, we all moved into the duplex and we kept an area for business. I loved hair. That was my deal back then. This is how I bought my duplex, from hair money. And once I got into the duplex, I just kept expanding, and eventually I needed a commercial space. I have a tad bit of experiences purchasing commercial spaces. I bought my first commercial space probably 8 years after I bought the duplex, but I bought properties in between that. So that is my first way that I entered into real estate. I entered into real estate through the good old-fashioned, going to the bank, getting a loan, presenting your documents, sitting down with a loan officer, underwriting, that whole nine. So some of us are not there yet. We'll start from the very top and then we'll work our way down. If you're living with somebody, how you can still touch, taste real estate. Real estate is everywhere. You can't have surgery without real estate. There has to be some place that they can perform the surgery. So just think of the person who owns that real estate. Ooh, we're learning so much now since we have the World Wide Web. Like McDonald's. McDonald's is real estate. I remember when I was little, I had to have McDonald's. McDonald's is not just about serving burgers really quick. McDonald's is real estate. So you guys, after I bought my first property, I continued in the hair business and the beauty business. I then got my real estate license. This is another awesome way to get into real estate. We're going to school, we're taking all these online classes. They even have real estate online now. So after I purchased my property, 1998, 2004, I went to real estate school and I got my real estate license. Yay! And so after that, I went and got my broker's license. So those are some of the ways that you can get into real estate. Get your real estate license. That is a phenomenal way to learn about real estate. And I was totally blessed to have a phenomenal broker. I had an awesome broker who taught me a lot about the fundamentals of real estate. I was more of a hunter. I would go out and find the deals, and plus I had such a large base clientele from my hair. When they wanted a property, they came to me. My clients knew me. They trusted me with their most deepest intimate secrets and stories. They trusted me to find them a home and do the negotiating for them. And my clients followed me right into real estate. 1998 or in 2004, things have totally changed. So yes, I have a coach. I continue to learn about real estate every single day. Another way of real estate. I ended up selling one of my properties in the next way that I'm going to talk about. Ways, different titles for the next section that we're going to get into, but it has the same formula. And I want to give you guys a disclaimer. This real estate episode that I am sharing with you guys, this is my experience. You guys want to do your due diligence, and don't forget to subscribe. Things that I've done, things that I'm doing, and things that I'm learning to do in the future when it comes to real estate and business. We had a relationship already built. So some of you hair designers, you want to go into real estate and you have built a clientele out of trust and love. You'll have a whole bunch of people following you into your real estate adventures. I sold one of my properties, contract for deed. I always share my stories and my experience with you guys. When I tell you guys that you are getting decades and decades and decades of experience, don't go down that way. It's a big old burr. So I'm going to share my experience with my contract for deed. I didn't know what I was doing. Never do anything like that without an attorney. Please. Never do anything like that without an attorney. It will come back and bite your head off. So make sure if you're doing anything with a lease option to buy, contract for deed, have an attorney do it. It's going to be worth the money. So my contract for deed, I got a contract for deed offline. So sometimes you have to learn the hard way. I learned about the title being transferred. The title stays in the seller's name. One thing about seller's financing is the buyer most of the time has equitable title, meaning they can refinance and take all your equity out. It is not an excuse. It was a hard learned lesson, but I was very desperate. I had just lost my mom. I just wanted to get rid of that property. It had just been a pain to me. All of the good times I had, it were over with, and I was ready to be done with it. And you want to do your due diligence. You want to hire an attorney, especially if you're doing some savvy seller's financing. Seller's financing can get really, really in depth. Didn't know what I was doing. The person that bought the property from me, they knew way more than I did, because having your real estate license and doing real estate investing is two different things. I'm going to repeat that. Having a real estate license and real estate investing is two different things. A broker's going to teach you different from a real estate investor, unless your broker is a real estate investor. But a lot of times you have to follow a lot of laws when you have a real estate license. You can get a little bit more savvy when you are a real estate investor. But when you are a real estate agent, realtor, you are governed by certain laws that you have to follow. Again, the guy that bought my property, he was a real estate investor. He knew exactly what he was doing. I ended up having the worst deal on the planet. It was horrible. So I don't know if you guys watched the foreclosure video that I put out, but go take a peek at that. That is part of that process, how the building went up into foreclosure at the end. I thought I was leaving the state of Minnesota with doing the right thing and selling the property. So I really just didn't abandon the property. I did try to sell it contract for deed, but the person who set up the contract for deed had been doing real estate investing for like 25 years. I thought I knew what I was doing because I had a real estate license. Two different beasts. Let's get that understanding. Two different beasts. Okay, now that we understand that, I don't want to use that for an excuse. I want us to do our due diligence. I work with taxes, and like I always stress to my coaching clients, the IRS does not want to hear that you did not know. So it's the same thing with real estate. You will get bit. You will get your head ripped off if you do not use an attorney. Use an attorney. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you hear something that you need, share this video so we can grow together. Some of us get tax money every year and we just shop until we drop. Use some of your tax money to purchase properties. And you're saying, well, I only got $3,000 back. That's not enough. That is enough. Get out, do your due diligence. You may be able to find a distressed seller. You may be able to help with $3,000. You will inquire a property. They will inquire money to move. Sometimes people need money to move. They don't have enough to save the property. They don't want to save the property. They just want to get rid of the property. And $3,000 would be lovely to them. And I know you guys are thinking, yeah, right, this is possible. But what I'm saying is don't take your tax money next year and just blow it on shoes, weave, nails, lashes. We talked about how you can help someone in distress. You can also partner with somebody. I've partnered on deals before. They've worked out great. Partner with somebody. They have a great reputation with their name. Don't partner just with anybody. That can be a disaster. There are affiliate groups that you can partner with. I am going to leave a link again for the course that I took on asset recovery. That's an excellent way to get into real estate. You can take the currency and the funds that you make from asset recovery and put towards some of these properties, whether you partner with them, whether you help a seller in distress and just go to a bank and get you a loan. You still may need some down payment, whether you're a first-time home buyer. They have a lot of programs for first-time home buyers, but you still may need closing costs. You still may need some down payment. Most of the time, down payments for first-time home buyers is about 3% most of the times. Okay, of course, veterans, they have excellent programs for veterans. One thing, if you have real estate on your heart and you want to get into real estate, you got to get around people who are doing it. You have to go to real estate investment groups, go to wholesale meetings. There's a plethora of things online, just an overwhelming amount. Now, let me back up just a little bit about that. That my baby. That me, that my baby. Don't forget to go online and get your cup. I'm going to leave a link below. My process of business is from the inside out. I pray, I visualize, I meditate, and I take massive, crazy action. But sometimes we have so much information in our mind that we are on overload, because you always want to stay organized in any business that you are in, and especially real estate, because you have people's property in your hand and you want to make sure you are presenting yourself with the utmost respect. Make a great, phenomenal name for yourself so that you can attract heavy hitters. You keep your word. That is so very important to you guys. Keep your word. And bring something to the table. All of us have value. Bring something to the table. That is so important in business, super important in real estate. A lot of individuals use their 401k, but make sure you have the proper people assisting you with this so that you are doing it in the correct way. That is one of the other ways to get into real estate. Very, very, very common nowadays. People have realized that things are getting more expensive, especially after the big P, the big pandemic. So a lot of people are using their retirement funds to purchase properties, and you're not penalized if you're using it for real estate. So keep that in mind. There's currency everywhere for real estate. And 90% of millionaires are made from real estate. And there's still enough room for all of us. Find a good team that you can link up with and start fulfilling your real estate ventures and dreams. Airbnb short-term rentals. My experience with that. Let's talk a little bit about how Airbnb got started. 3 guys renting air mattresses out. That is the story behind Airbnb. Then they started up funding for the Airbnbs to get people to invest in them. And now they're worth over $10 billion, I think it is. Start where we're at, period. Life happens to who? It happens to all of us. It doesn't matter. Start where you're at. Pray, visualize, meditate. Take massive, stupid, crazy action. Air, bed, in a bag. And some people get Airbnb mixed up with B&B. Not the same thing. I've done Airbnb. I've done short-term rental. I have not done B&B. B&B is bed and breakfast. That's a whole different thing. My husband and I and my daughter have 5 stars on our Airbnb. Thank you, daughter. Thank you, hubby, for always joining me on my mad scientist ventures. Now, Airbnb, we make it look like it's so easy. It can be challenging. You have to first know your county rental laws and statutes. Don't go run out and open up an Airbnb, list your property, get all this stuff forward, make it look real pretty, and you haven't done your due diligence research on laws in your county. Airbnb and the hosting sites are hosting sites. You have to do the due diligence on whether you can host in your county. Do you need a renter's license? But a lot of people rent apartments and they do Airbnbs. They find out from their leaser if they're able to do that, and they get into motion and they do Airbnbs that way. So I have experience with renting homes in Airbnb. I do not have the experience with the apartment Airbnbs. I have met people who have done it. I met people that are doing it and they absolutely love it. It works out wonderful for them. Also, having your own website for your vacation rental home. Some of the things that you want to do when you have your own website is to give good discounts. Make sure you give good discounts to people. I would never rent to anyone without an identification, a state issued identification. It's a whole different ball game when you're renting on your own platform. Airbnb covers a lot of insurance, different stuff like that. You have to do all of that kind of stuff when you do your own rentals on your own platform, your own website. Have a questionnaire on your website. Why are they staying in your property? How long? How many of them? If you have animals, you want to make sure you list that to make sure that they don't bring animals and your animals and their animals are attacking each other. But the easiest way to do this is to go online, look at the other vacation rentals and get ideas from their platform. I read and put my stuff in my own language, but I have really, really strict rules because you don't have the hosting sites to back you up if you do your own hosting on your own site. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful. Make sure your rules and your regulations are posted on your site. How many people you allow, if you allow parties, if you allow events, more than the people that are booked. We have to have an email for everyone that is listed. that will be staying at the property, and we hold the primary card holder responsible for any damages. And you want to make sure that your guests are having a phenomenal time. Now, we allow some events. We allow coaching events at our property. We have mindset coaches. We have life coaches. We have personal coaches. I'm a firm believer in networking. One of my babies said, how do you just walk up to people and give them your card? I put my scan on the back and I have my information on the front, and I give people cards. So I give people my rental cards, whatever card I have. Digital cards. Cards work. They keep your place full. If you have a space to rent for podcasts. We also allow people who are doing podcasts who live in a home where there's a lot of people renting. That is the thing. People rent rooms now. They don't want the overhead of mowing the lawn. They get free cable. They get free internet. So it's advantageous for some people to rent a room, but it also makes it difficult for individuals who are doing their podcast. So we have the perfect setup where you can come and do your podcast. You can do your short film, photo shoots. We really have to stay organized. They have apps where you can keep all of your bookings from Airbnb, Verbal, Booking.com, Expedia, all on one calendar. If you're small and you're just starting off, use your Google Calendar, but stay organized, please. And there is also another site that you can go on to rent out a space, and if for photographers, and that is Peerspace. That is something that I enjoy as well. You're doing a lease with real estate, but make sure if you're leasing, you get permission so that you're in the clear. You want to make sure you win. Always do the right thing. Also, you guys, renting to nurses. I've been a landlord. I have been a landlord, most definitely have. I haven't had really bad experiences with being a landlord. I had a cute little couple in Minneapolis, North Minneapolis. They came and rented my upstairs. And I ended up doing her family members' hair when they passed away. Yes, I have done deceased people's hair once they pass. I sure have. But she ended up renting one of my spaces. Her and her husband, they had the cutest little girl on the planet. I can't remember their name. They were so sweet. I hope they still together. They was just the cutest couple. Like God made both of them for each other. So if you're watching this video, leave a comment. Maybe you rent a room from one of your parents, and it's two beds in there. See if you can rent that bed out. Ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Stop being scared of being rejected. Rejection is a part of business. Real estate, people are going to say no. They're going to slam the door and they're going to hang up on you. They're going to say you're a scam artist. Why are you calling me saying that I have money available? Why are you calling me saying... That's part of business. You got to put your muscles in the game. A reputation worth our weight in gold. Keep our reputations pure and good. Do people right. People going to talk about you regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. You can go to church 365 days a year and they're going to say, girl, she always at church. You can be in the club. She met him in the club. So people going to talk about you regardless. So at the end of the day, know that we have done the right thing by other people. Now, am I telling you to be a brown noser and let people run over us? That's not what I'm saying. Don't let nobody run over us. But at the end of the day, do the right thing. And if you can't do right by people, then don't hang out with them. We don't let nobody take us off our square. Can't nobody take you off your square. Can't nobody take me off my square. We allow people to do things to us, and we already know how they are. Get quiet on people. My aunt always told me, when you let somebody make you mad, they have won. So that is I needed to hear that today. We stand firm and tall in what we have going on, what we believe in, our dignity. Oh yeah, it's shout out time. I want to give my shout out to Monda in Minneapolis. Monda, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there for our family when my mom passed. Baby, bye. You kept them people in check. You knew that we wasn't at our best. We had just lost our mom. Had our back. Your mom and my mom had been friends since we were, oh God, I had to be 11. I think I was 11 or 12. But I am so grateful. I remember, I'm gonna tell you how deep I remember. Somebody was trying to eat some deviled eggs and you was like, who are you? Go have a seat. I didn't make these deviled eggs for you. You said they haven't even eaten yet. I wanna thank you. I wanna give my condolences to your mom passing. My arms are open, Monda. If you are ever in a DMV, let me know. That's an unforgettable moment. You are a rock star, baby. You made out of good stuff. Thank you, Monda. Thank you. So you guys, that is the show for today. I love real estate. I love beauty. I love business. I love being an entrepreneur. I hope that you love being an entrepreneur. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of We Mind Your Business. You gonna be in my business, I'm gonna be in yours, and together we gonna what? We're gonna open some doors. And until next time,